Welcome to the MamasteFit YouTube channel. In this workout, we're going to be breaking down if you're having right SI joint pain. And so the SI joints are these two joints on the back side of your pelvis where you may have more pain towards the left side, maybe have a little bit more pain towards the right side. And so we're going to break down what to do if you have that right side pelvic pain. Hey, my name is Gina. I'm a perinatal fitness trainer and birth doula, and I'm going to break down what you can do to help resolve right SI joint pain. So the first thing to understand is the SI joints are back here on the back side of your pelvis. So it's between your sacrum and those pelvic calves, and you have one on each side. Commonly, when we walk, our pelvis is going to have a minor shift as we step and as we step and as we step. So we want this shifting to be happen. And now the shifting that I'm showing in this video is going to be a little bit more exaggerated than the movement that is actually happening within your body. It is very minute, but it still is happening. And that shift in weight is helping you to transfer load from your upper body through your pelvis into your lower body. And so we need this shift to happen in order to accommodate for that. Your pelvic joints have two ways that they stabilize. The first is going to be form closure, or how well does the pelvic joint align to itself to compress and close. And then we have force closure, which is the muscles kind of supporting the pelvis and how are they helping to kind of pull those joints together to stabilize during movement. If you're having more right side SI joint pain, what may be happening is you may be overly favoring the right side. So you may be putting a lot more weight into your right leg. You may also be, when you're walking, have that movement, but you're spending much more time on that right side. And so what begins to happen is the muscles that are supporting that SI joint become fatigued, and we begin to have a little bit more spacing towards the back side of the SI joint. So the SI joint and the pelvic calf, they kind of move apart, and we have a little bit more of a gap there because we're kind of always on this side. And so the way that we can overcome right-sided SI joint pain is to help you learn how to put a little bit more weight onto that left side. And this may involve releasing tension on the right side. So sometimes we get a little bit compressed over here. So you may notice that the right shoulder sits a little bit lower than the left side. And so we can release the compression here. We can release the inner thigh. It can help us get a little bit over towards that left side so we can put weight on that side. And so in this workout, we're going to be doing some mobility exercises to start to release this uneven pull to the right. And then we're going to do some strengthening exercises to help strengthen a little bit more on the left side so that you feel more comfortable putting your weight over there. For this workout, you won't need any equipment for the mobility exercises. For the strengthening exercises, you will need a long band with an attachment point. I will show some variations without an attachment point if that's more accessible to you. And then you'll need an elevated surface. I'm going to be using a box, and I will also be using a workout bench, but you can use either or for the movements, and then a light to medium weight for some of the movements as well. And if you enjoy this follow-along workout, be sure to check out our other on-demand programs. We have our prenatal fitness programs, our postpartum fitness programs, and a pelvic stability program to help support you throughout all phases of the motherhood journey. This workout is specifically from our pelvic stability program, and this is the novice workout in that series. And so there's a workout that's a little bit easier than this one, and then there's also a workout that's more advanced than this one, with all similar movements with slightly different progressions based on where you are within your journey. So check out our on-demand programs on our website, and you can use code YouTube10 to get 10% off any of our online offerings. So once you feel ready, I'll meet you down on your mat so that we can release that uneven tension on the right side. So we're going to start in a side lying position on our mat. Have your hand aligned to your hip, and then this top knee is going to be kicked out behind you. So we're in this 90-90 position. And then from here, I want you to sink that rib cage towards the floor. And we're going to feel this stretch in the side body. And now you can start on the right or you can start on the left. We're going to do both sides. I'm starting on my right side. So we're really sinking into that side. Big inhale into that space. And then I want you to think that left knee is pressing down into the floor. You can reach forward with that left arm. This is if you're doing the right side. And you're going to think how to push the chest away. So every inhale, breathe into the side body that's towards the floor. And then exhale, almost think like crunch a little bit towards that side. And just try to release into this as much as you can. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side now. So we're coming into that 90-90 position. So for me, I'm doing my left side, so my right leg is behind. I'm going to place that left hand down to my side. Right knee is pressing into the floor, and I'm going to sink this rib cage to the floor. So go ahead and sink it down. And then if you want, you can reach out with that opposite hand. And we're kind of like pushing the chest away from the hand as opposed to reaching forward with it. So sinking into the side, keep pressing down through that knee. And we're going to spend 1 minute in each of these mobility movements. So big breath into the side body here. And pay attention to how this side may feel different than the other side. Do you feel that there's more release that's happening here? Do you feel like there's a little bit more tension happening on this side? After this, we're going to come into a half lunge position with an open hip to stretch more of the inner thighs. So let's come into that half lunge position. So I'm going to have my feet perpendicular to one another. So I have my right foot out to the side and my left leg is directly behind. And then here I want to think weight in that right big toe. You can place your hand to the inside of the knee to kind of push it out a little. And we're targeting more of this groin area. So I'm pushing into that knee and then I'm thinking rotate my body towards this back hip. And when you do that, you're going to feel that stretch here in this groin inner thigh area. And you can rock in and out of it. We're going to spend a minute here really thinking about keeping the big toe of the right foot down so we're not rolling onto the outside of that foot. For a lot of us, we have more compression to the right side and we have a little bit more shortening or tightness in that right inner thigh groin area. And so this can kind of pull the pelvis towards that side a little bit. So doing these mobility exercises can help offload the right side of your pelvic floor and help it so that you can bring that weight to the left. And now we're going to take that left arm and reach it overhead. So we have a little bit of a side body opening happening here. And then keep that rib cage down so we're not thrusting the ribs up. If you want, you can straighten that left foot out so we have perpendicular feet and then reach over. So we have this kind of straight line through the left side, still pressing that right knee out. Body is still twisting towards the left. So still feeling that inner thigh stretch here. If this feels like too much, you can keep your knee down on the floor. Now let's go ahead and switch to the left side now. So we're going to do the left side just a little bit different than the right, but it's going to be pretty similar. So for that back leg, I want you to step it out just a little bit. So when we come into that left foot, we have a little bit more right inner thigh happening here. So go ahead and sink into that left hip. You'll feel another groin stretch on this side. And then twist the body to the right and then sink a little bit more. So the knees are a little bit more spread here for that inner thigh on that bottom leg, but still primarily feeling it in that right groin. And you can rock in and out of it if you'd like. Think about keeping that rib cage down. In 5 seconds, we'll add in that side body opener, and this should feel really good on the right side. So go ahead and reach that right arm up, and then we're reaching over to feel that side body stretch. So try to keep the chest open. And then again, if you want, you can straighten the right leg, so we're more of that side angle position. And just pay attention to the sensation that you're feeling. You may find that it feels better for you to stay here and focus a little bit more on that side bend. You may find that it feels better to straighten the leg to get a little bit deeper into the groin. You can keep that rib cage down. Now that we're done with our mobility workout, let's go ahead and move on to the strengthening exercises to help get you out of that right hip into the left. Let's get started with the strength portion of today's workout. For this workout, there are 3 rounds, but you can do just 1, 2, or all 3. It'll be about 30 minutes total. We're going to start with the step-up row. So place your right foot on the box and then grab on to your band. We're going to exhale to come up and row that band back towards your body, and then inhale to lower down. So we're thinking weights in that foot. I load that foot, exhale, step up, and then row. And so my right foot is stepping, and my left foot is rowing. If you want to add a little bit more challenge, you can add a knee drive at the top. It's going to make you put a little bit more weight into that right leg. And then think slight tuck underneath at the top. So inhale, lower down, exhale, come up, tuck that right hip underneath. As you lower down, you can also think belly comes more towards the thigh. So we're really reaching forward to find this twist in the upper body, but keep that knee stacked over the ankle so it's not flailing out to the side. And now we're going to do something different for the right side. So we're going to focus more on a pull down. So left foot is on the box. I'm going to load that foot. And instead of rowing, I'm going to pull that hand straight down. So exhale, come up, pull that band down. Think right shoulder stays open. Inhale to lower. At the top, think tucking that butt underneath. You can also add in the knee drive if you'd like, but really focus on chest stays open as you pull that band back. As you lower, think belly comes towards the thigh. Again, we're like reaching forward and keep that knee stacked. And move slow with this. Go ahead and release that band, and let's do our staggered stance RDL. So we're going to grab on to our weight. The opposite hand of the forward foot is going to be holding the weight. So right leg is forward for me, left hand is holding on to that weight. So I'm going to inhale down, and it's like I'm reaching for that right foot with the weight, and then exhale to come on up. Inhales are down, exhales, come on up. And so now starting with the foot, weight is in that big toe of the front foot as I lower down. The knee is staying stacked relatively over the ankle, so I'm not keeping my leg super straight, and my hips are coming back. So if you think about a flashlight attached to your butt, it's shining the wall, behind you, not the floor below you. So inhale, lower down, belly comes towards the thigh. Keep that knee aligned, both stacked and from side to side, so it's not flailing out as you lower. And move slow with it. We don't need to rush through this movement. And now we're going to do the left side. So weight is in that left foot, right hand is holding on to that weight, and that right foot is just kind of like kickstand. So it's just providing a little bit of support. So with the left foot, weight in that big toe, inhale, lower down like you're trying to touch the foot, exhale, come up. You may not actually touch the foot. It's not like a requirement. So starting from the foot, lots of weight in that left big toe. Knee is staying stacked over the ankle, both forward and backwards, and side to side. And then hips are going back. They're shining the wall behind you, not the floor below you. So we have much more of a hamstring stretch happening at the bottom. And then as you reach down, belly is coming more towards that thigh. We're loading this hip, and most of the weight is in the left hip, so we're not sinking back into the right hip as we lower. Go ahead and place that weight down. Now we're going to move on to our archer press. So with the archer press, left foot is back, band is in the right hand, and we're going to step forward to where there's some tension in the band, not overly tense. Now most of the weight is going to be in my right or my left leg. Exhale, press, and then we're shifting our weight into that left foot. So come back, exhale, press, weights in that left foot. And then we can add a little bit of a twist. So as I press, I'm twisting to open up my body towards that left foot. And I could lift my right foot up fairly easily without having to significantly change my body position. So weight is in my right. I'm pressing and twisting and then coming back. So this one's a little bit more complex. There's a few moving pieces to it. We have the upper body rotation, and we have rotation happening in the hips. So weight's in the left foot, pelvis rotates towards the left, keep that knee stacked, and then torso is twisting as I press. Let's switch to the other side now. So right foot is back, left hand has the band. I'm going to step forward. Most of the weight, again, is in my right foot. And so as I press, my torso is going to twist to the right side, and I'm keeping my pelvis shifted. So exhale, press and twist in the upper body to the right. Pelvis is staying stacked. So the right leg is pretty much like a pole, and it's maintaining its position as the pelvis and upper body kind of twists on it. So as you press, that knee is not flailing out to the side. It's just maintaining its position. So we're here, press. So again, the archer, press, and row are one of our more technical movements. But once you can feel that rotation in the pelvis in your body, it's going to really improve your pelvic comfort. So it may take a little bit of playing around with, but we're really thinking most of the weight is in that right leg. Let's go ahead and finish up this round with the Copenhagen plank. So you got a little bit extra time to get down to the floor. If the Copenhagen plank still does not feel accessible to you, you can do an adductor side plank instead. So we'll have the yoga block and you'll press up, or you can just squeeze the block between the thighs and hold here. If you're ready for a Copenhagen plank, you'll press that top knee onto your block, your bench. You can put like a pad here if the block's a little bit tough. And then go ahead and lift up. Now, when you feel ready, you can lift that bottom leg. If you're like, I'm not there yet, you can either keep just the foot or you can keep the whole bottom leg down, but it's like 20% weight is in that bottom leg, 80% is in the top leg. So really feeling a lot of stretch and activity here in that inner thigh. And you can play around. Maybe you lift the knee up a little bit. Maybe you lift just the foot up. And let's go ahead and switch to the opposite side now. So either switch with your adductor side plank, with your just side plank with ball squeeze. Top leg is on the block. Exhale, press up, and then choose your variation. Either most of the weight in this top leg, other leg is down on the floor. Maybe just the knee is off the floor. Maybe just the foot is off the floor. Maybe the whole leg is off the floor. And you can just kind of play around here. It's only 30 seconds, and you can adjust what you need. But we really want to focus on strengthening that inner thigh muscle that's huge for pelvic stability. Go ahead and release the hips down, and let's move into round number 2, back to our step-ups. Now, if you have that weight, you can hold it for the step-ups as well in your free hand, but that's totally optional. So we're going to start right foot on the box, hold the band in the left hand, and we're going to row. Exhale, come up, row. Inhale to lower down. So now as I do this movement, slow and controlled, I'm thinking lots of weight in my big toe, lower down. I'm thinking my knee is staying aligned to my ankle, so it's not flailing out to the side or caving in. I think belly comes more towards the thigh as I lower, so I'm reaching to kind of twist my torso towards my thigh, and then come back up. I can also think slight tuck underneath. Let's go ahead and switch the hands. So we're going to do the right side with the band, left foot on the box. And so we're going to be pulling straight down. So go ahead and load that left foot. Think belly to thigh. So we're reaching forward here. Exhale, step up, pull down. Think chest is open. And same thing, we're thinking lots of weight in that big toe. Knee is staying aligned to the ankle so it's not caving in or out. Belly comes to the thigh as I lower. And then at the top, pelvis tucks underneath. And then think chest stays open as I pull down. Go ahead and release that band, and let's move on to that staggered stance, RDL. So go ahead and grab onto your weight. We'll start with the right foot, weights in the left hand. So right foot is forward, left foot is a little bit back, just kickstanding your leg. Inhale, lower down, reach for the right foot. Exhale, come on up. And now, like 80% of my weight is in my right foot right now. Starting at the floor, lots of weight in the big toe. Knee is staying stacked over the ankle, both front to back and side to side. I am bending in my knee. So my leg is not straight. Hips are coming back, like I'm shining a wall or a light from the wall behind me. And then I want you to think active in the upper body, so we're not hanging here with that weight. The tension in the upper back is going to help to generate tension across that lower back into your sacral area. So if you're feeling any lower back pain, usually it's because we're kind of hanging here. So think more activation. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So left foot is going to be our work foot, holding the weight in our right hand now. And now for a lot of us, left hamstring is a little bit weaker compared to the right, so it may feel more challenging on this side. So inhale, lower down, exhale, come on up. And then really think about keeping the weight in that left foot the entire time. So we're not sinking back into the right foot. So start at the foot, lots of weight in that left big toe. Knee is staying stacked over the ankle, both front to back and side to side. Belly comes to the thigh as you lower, and then hips to the wall behind you. And then to think about the upper body, shoulders down and back, so we're engaged as we lower down. Go ahead and release that weight, and we're going to move on to the archer presses. And again, this one is a little bit more complicated. There's a little bit more moving pieces to it. Left foot is back, right foot is forward, and I'm holding the band in my right hand. So I'm going to shift my weight into my left foot as I press and twist. So exhale, press the weight. You can think twist in your body, and then shift your weight into that left foot. And then come back, press, twist in the body, and then shift your weight into that left hip. And then can you do that simultaneously? So if you're really struggling with it, just do the presses. So I'm pressing and I'm twisting in my upper body, and I have a little bit more weight in my left foot. After that, can I sink into that left hip a little bit as I press? But again, if you're like, I'm not quite getting it, just do the presses where we're twisting the upper body, and maybe you keep the press as you kind of shift your weight into your left foot and you try to play around with it. Once you can figure out this hip shifting and pair with rotation in your upper body, you're going to find so much relief from pelvic pain. Let's go ahead and switch sides now. So right foot is back, left foot is forward. Being able to change your position from your left to your right and add in rib cage movement is huge for pelvic stability and pelvic floor function. So let's go ahead and press that band. Maybe we just start with the pressing and twisting. We got a little bit more weight in that right foot. And now we're going to press and sink into the right hip. If you think about lots of weight in that right big toe, it's going to help anchor your right leg so that your pelvis can just shift around on it. So if you're having that SI pain towards the back, maybe tailbone pain, some folks may describe it as like sciatic pain. This is all stuff that's going to help to improve movement in that part of your pelvis. Even if you have pain with or discomfort with constipation, learning how to hip shift helps to stretch and release the back half of our pelvic floor. Let's finish up this round with that Copenhagen plank. And again, I'm going to do 3 full rounds. If you want to do 3 full rounds, you can. If you don't want to, you're good after 2. That's fine. I don't know that you didn't finish it. I don't check. So go ahead and come onto your side. Place your top leg onto your elevated surface. And then we're going to do our same, either keep the leg down, just the foot, just the ankle, completely lift off, or choose one of the other variations if this feels too intense. So go ahead and lift up. Really feeling a lot of activation in that inner thigh. Go ahead and tuck the hips under and push them forward just a little without arching in the back. Maybe you lift the knee off. Again, inner thighs, they play a huge role in pelvic stability. They play a huge role in your pelvic floor's function. Let's go ahead and switch sides. And unlike the other exercises, these Copenhagen planks, only 30 seconds. Only 30 seconds. So place that top leg onto the block and go ahead and lift those hips. And then I want you to think, tuck the hips under, push them forward, but don't thrust in the rib cage. And then maybe we lift just the knee off the floor. But most of the weight's in that left leg or whatever leg is on the box for you. It's really hard to beat the Copenhagen plank and how good it is with strengthening your inner thighs. I don't like them. Nobody else likes them, but they're so good for you. Let's go ahead and lower the hips down. And now we're going to move into our final round. Again, if you're like, that was enough for me, I'm good. We'll see you next time. We'll see you in the cool down if you're doing the on-demand version. Otherwise, let's do our step-ups. So right foot is on the box, left hand with the band, exhale, row, inhale, lower down. And now let's start from the foot. Lots of weight in that big toe. Knees staying aligned to the ankle so it's not swaying from side to side. It can go forward and backwards, that's fine. As you lower, belly comes more towards that thigh. At the top, think tuck the pelvis under. And then we're going to row that band as we extend. You can add a little bit of a twist if you'd like. Let's go ahead and switch to the right side now. So grab onto your band. I'm using just a slightly lighter one. You can use the same one though and either just move a little bit closer or I guess just be stronger than me. So load the left foot. Exhale, come up, pull down to keep that chest open. For a lot of us, that right lower trap is a little bit weaker compared to the left side. And so because that muscle is a little bit weaker, sometimes we struggle with hip extension on the left, which then causes us to spend less time on that left side. So the reason why we're doing the pull down on the right compared to the left is it's helping you to finish hip extension. Go ahead and release that band, and let's move on to that staggered stance RDL. We'll start with the right foot. So hold that weight in the left hand. So right foot is forward, left foot is just kind of kickstand behind you. Almost all the weight's on my right leg though. So hold on to that weight. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, come on up. So as we lower down, lots of weight in that right toe. We're reaching for the right foot, belly comes towards the thigh. You're gonna feel this big stretch in this glute and quad or hamstring. Stay active in the upper back, so we're not slouching with that weight. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So weight now is in the right hand. We're stepping onto that left foot. So for a lot of us, left side a little bit weaker than the right. So just pay attention to how it feels. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, come up. Lots of weight in that left big toe. Knee is staying stacked, so it's not moving side to side. It's not moving forward and backwards. We are still bending in it though, because the hips are coming back. Pay attention, make sure most of the weight stays in that left foot. You're not rocking back into the right. Stay active in the upper back so we're not slouching with that weight. Even as you reach, we're not releasing as we reach. We keep that tension, which is why you're not going to touch the floor. Place that weight down. Let's move on to the archer presses. So we're going to start with the left foot back, band in the right hand. And again, we can start with chest, the press and rotates, and then we can sink into the hip, and then we can combine them. So again, learning how to move rib cage and pelvis, huge. Exhale, press and twist. If you want, sink into that left hip. Lots of weight in that left big toe. Learning how to move your rib cage with your pelvis is huge for your pelvic floor function. It's huge for your pelvic stability. So I would encourage you to do movements like this outside of this workout, to explore it, to feel yourself sink into that hip, to feel more of a stretch in that deep glute pocket. And then pay attention, how does chest sinking into the hip versus adding that press make a difference? Adding that rotation. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So now I'm going to put weight into my right foot, band is in my left hand. And again, do chest to twist, do chest to sink, combine them both. Exhale, press, inhale, come back. So we've got our twist and then sink into that hip. So again, we're feeling this really big stretch kind of in this glute pocket. So kind of this back little area, triangular area right here. If you're like, I don't really feel it, I want you to really think about keeping weight in that leg and rotating just your pelvis. So I'm thinking belly comes more towards that thigh. Let's go ahead and release that band, and now we're gonna move on to our Copenhagen plank. So we're gonna place that top leg onto our elevated surface, and we're only here for 30 seconds. And then we're done with this whole workout, and then you can just do your cool down and feel better in your body. When we can find balance in the pelvis, and we can learn how to shift our weight from leg to leg, it can really help to relieve pelvic pain very quickly. So go ahead and put weight in that top leg. Go ahead and lift those hips, tuck the hips under, push them forward, and then maybe we come off the knee. Maybe we lift that whole leg. This is the last one. If this feels like way too much, just put the foot down. It's okay. When you move on to the next workout, maybe we lift the foot off the floor. Try to keep that rib cage down. And let's go ahead and switch to the other side. Place that leg onto the block. Go ahead and lift your hips up, tuck the button, push it underneath, and then just lift the knee off the floor. If you feel ready, you can lift that whole foot off the floor. If you're like, nope, you can just lift the knee and just stay here. Keep that rib cage down. "10 seconds. Thanks so much for joining me for this pelvic stability workout targeting that right SI joint. When we're targeting the right SI joint, we're trying to help ourselves get over to the left leg and put more weight on that side. Sometimes we've sunk a little bit too deep onto the right side, and so those muscles are over fatiguing and they're no longer working well on the right. So once we can strengthen the left side and release the tightness on the right, we can usually find more of an even shift from side to side. If you want more support throughout your pregnancy or your postpartum while dealing with pelvic pain, or you're just looking for exercises to help keep your hips and your core strong as you navigate your motherhood journey, check out our online fitness programs. We have our prenatal fitness programs, we have our postpartum fitness programs, and this workout specifically came from our pelvic stability program that you can do both during pregnancy and in the postpartum to help have a strong core, strong hips, so you can have a pain-free journey. We offer our fitness programs both like this and an on-demand format where you're following a video as you work out at the same time, but we also offer it with an app-based format, which is going to be self-paced workouts. So you can check out all of our fitness programs on our website at MamasteFit.com and use code YouTube10 to get 10% off any of our online offerings. New workouts are released every Tuesday on our channel, so be sure to subscribe so you get notified whenever we release new videos, and we're so excited to support you on your journey.